Man, you guys already know what time it is. We here with another album review from the one and only
Agallah, the Dawn. Listen.
We gonna get through this real quick, get through the rundown just to let you guys know what to expect. You know what I mean? We gonna start off with the intro. Firstly, the intro is super dope. The instrumental was amazing. You know, I like how it's hyped up. You know, it's kind of like, you know, getting to hear like a superhero get introduced. You know what I mean? You know, he's from New York, so you kind of hear it straight off the bat what you about to expect. So I think that's super cool. You know, I really liked it. Nothing too crazy. You know, cool way to get you into the project. You know, cool little 7, 8 out of 10 off the intro. And then secondly, we got In the Ghetto. Ooh, boy, In the Ghetto go crazy. Look, this is one of the craziest beats I've ever heard. You know what I mean? I'm not just, of all time, one of the craziest beats I've ever heard. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say top 5, top 10. I can't do that. I can't do all that ranking stuff. But this is like amazing. This is an amazing beat. Just be straight up with you. I had to hear this like 30 times just so I can enjoy the instrumental. You know what I mean? I mean, just listen to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing instrumental, and honestly, it has a potential to be like a street anthem. You know what I mean? Amazing track, 10 out of 10. Third, we got the song Hardcore. This is the third track of the album, one of the better hip-hop tracks that has an instrumental that takes influence from a rock sample. You know, you hear a lot of the hip-hop songs that use a rock sample and it doesn't sound good at all. Like, it's usually terrible, I'm not gonna lie. But this one is pretty decent. Definitely listenable. And, you know, it just needs, you know, I think it just needs a better machine behind the instrumental. You know what I mean? Agallah just does that New York stuff on it, you know, but he doesn't ruin it. But I feel like she could have done more with it. But nothing crazy out of this track, 6 out of 10. And then the fourth track on here is Losing My Mind. Losing My Mind is the fourth track of the album where it has a hook straight off the bat. Ag talks about his personal struggles on trying to survive and how he's literally losing his mind and getting impatient because he wants to succeed. You know, I really like when rappers do this because it gives you a sense of realization that, like, these celebrities struggle just as much as, you know, normal people. You know what I mean? Like, we all go through these type of, you know, phases in our life where we got to go through the grind and we got to find a way just for us to succeed. So I thought that was super cool. On to the next track, Artificial Love. I'm not gonna lie, I see the potential with this song. I'm not a fan though. It's kind of boring. The production is pretty simple, which isn't a problem as long as you used it in a different way. You know what I mean? So it's still kind of boring to me. It's not bad, but the fact that I think it's boring, it kind of makes the track skippable. So 5 out of 10, I'm not gonna lie. Then we have the 6th track on this album. This right here, from the minute I heard it, like the first 10 seconds, smash, classic, hit. DJ Premier produced this track. I don't know how Agallah got a DJ Premier beat, but he worked with it and he killed it. He did his thing on this track. You know, this would have been a smash hit in the 90s. I'm gonna be straight up. Too bad it came out in 2006 or, you know, even before then. But, you know, if this came out in the early 90s, oh my God, this would have been a smash throughout all of New York. Let's be real. So, crazy, 10 out of 10, classic. On to the next one. The 7th track on the album is called What's Hood. This track is very interesting, like very, very interesting. Because think of yourself, the listener, in 2006, listening to this album as if it first came out. And he's talking about fashion and certain things that are honestly way ahead of its time. You know what I mean? He just talks about clothing brands such as
System, dub sitting, chrome glisten, true religion, Ed Hardy, I'm in the party, gangsta grillin', chicks fillin'.
you know, and this is crazy because this happened in 2006 when he's talking about this. Like, everybody knows True Religion, Pyrex Vision, and what else he say? Ed Hardy's. Like, everybody loves those brands now. You know what I mean? But back then, this was like not that big of a deal. Like, True Religion ended up going crazy throughout the United States. So I thought that was super cool. So just based off of the thing that he kind of like is kind of bragging about certain brands and stuff, even though they weren't hot back then, or maybe they were, but they got even bigger later on after this album. So I kind of thought that made the project more enjoyable. So I like it. I like this song a lot more because of that. So 7 out of 10. Track number 8 is Ride Out, Old Triple G. This song, look, these next couple songs that are coming out, I'm not really a fan of. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm gonna give like a pretty simple rundown through most of them real quick. Ride Out, OGGG. The song is produced by The Alchemist. I was kind of intrigued to see Alchemist on here. I was like, oh wow, Alchemist produced a track on this. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. Not really the case. It was kind of a simple beat. Agallah didn't really do much with it. He kind of just did a regular stuff on this. Kind of skippable in my opinion. As well as the next couple tracks coming up, but it gets better. So we'll hear it. So track number 9. OGGG, Right Out, 6 out of 10. Track number 9, Yeah Baby. Here's another track I kind of find skippable. He's just talking about, so I don't even know what this track is about. He's just saying, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. And then he's using his best Young Jeezy impression, talking about some chill, chill, chill. Chill. Come on now. Track number 10 is actually just Prodigy from Mobb Deep speaking to him. Rest in peace to Prodigy, the legend, man, so I thought that was kind of cool to have on here. He put a legend on here. If you're gonna put anyone on your project, put a legend on there. Track number 11, Built for This. This is a well put together song. From the hook, production, smooth flow from Agallah. Nothing much else to really say. It's a really dope track. I'm not gonna lie. I found this to be one of the more enjoyable tracks on the album. So 9 out of 10. Track number 12, I'm Getting Money. This is kind of like a track where he's kind of talking to the women, I'm assuming. He's kind of flexing and, nothing really crazy. It's obviously I'm not the target audience when he's trying to speak to the women, so I don't find this to be anything to me, so I'm cool off of it, 7 out of 10, not gonna lie. Track number 13, On the Ave. Another great produced track, but it's another track where he talks about being tough, talking about the struggle and how he's a tough figure on the streets. A skippable track in my opinion, unless you enjoy the production that much. That I could see why you would go back to listen to this, but honestly, the track as a whole, not that impressive. 6 out of 10. Track number 14 is Right Now. This is another skippable track talking about trying to be street. Talks a whole lot of ish with the person he's featuring on here. I also think Agallah likes rock samples when he produces, because I've never heard somebody sample so many hit rock songs for hip hop beats on an album. You probably get like 1, maybe 2 at the most. So I think this is the 3rd one at this point on this album. Not an issue, but at the same time, we ain't trying to hear all that. So 5 out of 10. Number 15, in my opinion, is a song called Club Hoppin'. Not a fan. From everything. This is a boring track, literally talking about club hopping. He's literally talking about how he club hops. Yeah. No. 4 out of 10. This is the worst song out of the project. Track number 16 is a song called Can You Dig It? It's a cool production, track. It's really nicely produced. It has a boom bap style beat. Nothing really too crazy. Unless you really love boom bap type beat, this is probably the track for you. Not really for me as much. As long as for me, it has to have the substance, and the artist has to do a lot with that type of beat, for it to look that good. So, can you dig it? 6 out of 10. On to the next. Track number 17. Now, this is where it gets really good again on the album. It's a song called Take Me Back. Super, super dope production. It sounds like, prime Heatmakers, when the Heatmakers was really hot with Dipset. But it's Agallah, Agallah, producing this, because he produced most of this project himself. Just really good track overall. And he also has a really dope line where he says,
Take that, didn't have to pay no DJ to break that. When a rapper used to make the track, nowadays the track make the rapper jack.
Which is a very true statement, you know what I mean? Especially today, a lot of people don't listen for what, the rapper is really saying. They listen more to if it sounds good, you know what I mean? So there's that. So I enjoyed this. He reminisces a lot of things that he misses from growing up, and just really cool substance overall. And definitely way better than the last couple tracks on his album. And then he has track number 18, where he goes into his bag when it comes to, what he has to say off his chest. It's called Mom R.I.P. This is a self-reflective song where he talks about his mother passing away and the things he regrets. And he speaks on events that happened when his mom was alive. And he uses a very, very interesting choice of words. Like, on the chorus, I don't know what he was trying to say. Maybe it's like a metaphor for something. I have a hard time understanding what he meant, but this is what he says.
To love me. Mommy just don't hug me like she used to hug me. Mommy just don't love me like she used to love me. Mommy just don't.
Like, I'm trying to understand what he means by his mom doesn't hug him like she used to. Like, he's that. I don't understand. So if you guys know what this metaphor means, when someone's passed away and they say your mom doesn't love you like she used to, is that like a literal thing, or is this like a metaphor to say like my mom isn't alive and she doesn't love me because she's not alive? I'm not trying to be offensive with this track. I'm just saying for what it is. You know what I mean? But really enjoyable. 9 out of 10. One of those songs that put you in your feelings for real. And then lastly is a song called Cry for Help. This track right here, wow, this is a beautiful song. It's a depressing song, but it's a beautiful song. The production is really good. The storytelling is really good. The hook gave me goosebumps. I was listening to this when I was home alone, lights off, and just laying in bed. I'm like, wow, just crazy. Honestly, this was like a literally a cry for help. He's talking about committing suicide. You know what I mean? And just beautiful. It's a beautiful track, man. You guys just gotta hear it. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Best song on the album. Between that So Ghetto song and Cry for Help, I'm like stuck between the two. The So Ghetto song is so good because of the production is out of this world with that song. Cry for Help is just top to bottom, from the flow, storytelling, production, to the hook, like all the way through, just crazy. And that's basically all the tracks on the album. Now, for what I want to say next, is kind of important. Let me just get through this real quick. Overall, I really enjoyed this album. Agallah is definitely an underrated figure in hip hop. He's worked with a lot of your favorite rappers, especially if you like New York rappers. He probably worked with some of your favorites. this album could have gone with less tracks. I'm gonna be honest with you. There were some tracks where I'm like, this album could have been like 12 songs, maybe 13 songs long. 19 songs on an album is crazy. But you know, I enjoyed the album still. But because there's so many tracks I have to skip, this is a 7 out of 10. If it was a shorter album without some of those unnecessary songs, this has potential to be a classic. Not I'll say classic, but an amazing album. Like a great album I'll come back and listen to all the time. You know, so I would give it an 8, maybe 9 out of 10 if it was that case. But it's not. And it has a lot of fillers, a lot of throwaway songs. I don't like that he put that in there. A 7 out of 10, bro. A 7 out of 10. Still a good project. Still a good project because the high points are really high. Like, really, really high. Especially on a production level for 2006. Like, really, really high. But the songs I didn't like, I mean, it's not that I despise them, but it's like very skippable. I'm not going to go out of my way to look for these songs. But the ones that have a high ceiling, yes. I'll go out of my way to look for these songs. On to my next point. I really hope Agallah is doing good. I'm going to just put this little video for you guys to look. Just so you guys know what I'm really trying to talk about.
In 2018, and I hadn't talked to Agallah in a couple of years. I don't remember why, just maybe circumstance. I don't think there was any, like, shit. But I'd heard he was, like, really down bad. Like, someone told me he had, like, $12 for his name. So I started talking to him. I guess, like, his birthday was coming up. And he said he wanted this specific pair of shoes. So I bought him the shoes and shipped them to him in New York. And he's like, M80, honestly, like, I was going to kill myself. But, like, you restored my faith in humanity. Like, you bought me these shoes I wanted. They're expensive, blah, 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 blah. So when I started...
Now, that person that you just seen was Almighty M80. I got my own little thing with him. I do not like this dude at all. I cannot stand M80. I'm a big cannabis fan. I cannot stand M80. I'll be honest with you. I've had my issues with him in the past, so he's probably using your name like disrespectfully for clicks or whatever. And you know, I really hope what he's saying isn't true. Because, I mean, I know life gets hard. But even if he didn't buy you those shoes, I really hope, really hope, you know, you are in a better place, my brother. Because hearing that last song, Cry for Help, I feel like you're just one of those people that can just leave at any moment. You know what I mean? So I hope you're doing well. And I hope this is a good message for the people out there. Someone loves you in this world, man. Someone loves you in this world. Think twice about taking your own life. You know what I mean? There's always someone that has an eye out for you. There's people that care. And, you know, you impact a lot more people than you think. So, stay alive, man. Do what you got to do. Your day will come, but don't let it be at the hand of yourself, you know. A lot of people care for you guys. A lot of people love you. But, you know, I hope you guys have found something positive out of this video. And check out the Agallah album. You know what I mean? It is a good album. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. It's been your boy, That Kid Shady. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Nigga gotta smoke 12 blunts to get high a day. I'm stressed out. What I'm doing, man? Am I killing myself?